Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Wahara Kakwadash. All right, Yahweh being the name of the Father, Yahweh Shai the name of the Son. Double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone, and roll well. Peace and blessings, salutations to the hopeful elect of Israel. Okay, I'm gonna start with these precepts. This is Revelation chapter 19, verse 15. And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he should smite the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron, and he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of Almighty Yahweh. All right, and he hath on his vesture and on his thigh a name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. All right, so it says he smites the nation. Oh, all right, I know where to go through the Spirit. The Wadi Yahweh Shemel Shai says, and he treadeth the winepress. Who's that? Yahweh Shai. All right, talks about that in Isaiah. All right, dyed garments from Basra. We'll go into that. And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he should smite the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron. So what we're going to go into right now is we're going to go into a rod with a rod. All right. So this is from Revelations 19:15. Let me play it.
Strong's G 4464. Hrabdas.
And it says, I'm going to get right to the point. It says right here, when applied to kings with a rod of iron, indicates the severest, most rigorous rule. All right, and what did that just say? 16 verse, and he hath on his vesture and on his thigh a name written, King of Kings. So he's a king. When applied to kings with a rod of iron, indicates the severest, most rigorous rule. All right, because you heathens are going to go into slavery. All right, you heathen nations are going to go into slavery. At first, let me get, let me put a bookmark on this. We'll get into the slavery thing first, which we can actually go to Revelations 13 first. Revelations 13, chapter 9, if any man have an ear, let him hear. And I like to use this precept for things other than slavery, because basically what it's saying is if a man has understanding, or if he's meant to get it, all right, if he was given those spiritual ears by Yahweh Shemel Shai, then let him hear, all right, then teach him, okay? So I use that for a lot of things, but, you want to read this with this, it works too, all right? If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints, right? And the saints are Israelites, right? It tells you that. I'm pretty sure in Psalms. But anyways, okay. So it says, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. All right. All nations have partaken in our downfall. All right. And all and we're under all their feet. All right. We actually went into that with the lesson yesterday. As a matter of fact, let me go back to it. What was that? Second Esdras. I think it was chapter 6, and then it went down to 57. And now, O Lord, behold, these heathen which have ever been reputed as nothing have begun to be lords over us and to devour us. Okay, so that's us, right? So we are under them, right? We're under all the heathen nations right now. Even the lowest of the low, the wicked, the Edomites, all right? So-called white people collectively, all right? But we thy people, whom thou hast called thy firstborn, thy only begotten, and thy fervent lover, are given into their hands. If the world now be made for our sakes, why do we not possess an inheritance with the world? How long shall this endure? So how long is this going to endure? We went over that, all right? When America is destroyed, all right? It told you in Revelations 19, it told you right here. Slacky, let me take the... Right in 1915, I just deleted it, meaning I deleted the bookmark. So Revelations 19, verse 15, and out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he shall smite the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron. That's when we're going to be set on top. All right, that's when Jacob's beginning is going to start. All right, when we set up our kingdom. But there's a saying, I'm trying to recall what it was. There can't be two kings of the world. I don't remember what it was, but it's basically saying, like, you can't rule this place and me at the same time, all right? And that's really how it was through history, all right? If there was a kingdom standing and somebody else wanted to be the rulers, they wouldn't just, build up right there, well, we're going to be partners. No, they would destroy that kingdom and they'd build theirs. Right? And that's what we're going to do. That's what Daniel saw. Or he saw that statue destroyed by the kingdom of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. All right? And the kingdom of Yahweh is going to destroy America, and Yahushai is going to come and build up the kingdom. Okay? He's going to establish it, really, because the slaves are going to build it up. All right? I forgot where I was going to go. But I can go to Isaiah 14. Isaiah 14:1. For Yahweh will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined with them. All right, that's the Israelites born, outside of the land. And they shall cleave to the house of Jacob, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of Yahweh for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives, who captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. All right, so we're going to take the heathens. We're going to take the heathens. All right, we're going to put them in slavery. All right, we're going to put them under our feet. Okay, we're going to be the rulers again. Yeah, I was going to get 2 Ezra 6 and 9. Because really, a stranger, when it says strangers, it's talking about people born outside of the land of Israel. Okay, which we all were born outside the land of Israel this life. 2 Ezra chapter 6 verse 9. Just like with Gentiles, there's Gentiles that are. Israelites, which are the ones that will receive the word, and then there's the heathen Gentiles, which are the ones that are going to go into slavery. Right? They're not going to receive salvation. This is 2 Ezra chapter 6 verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. All right, so the end of Esau is when Yahushai comes back and establishes our kingdom. But before he does that, America has to be destroyed. So America is going to be destroyed. And then he's going to establish the kingdom. Okay, he's going to put the nations under subjection. Okay, we can go to Obadiah 1, verse 15. For the day of Yahweh is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yea, they shall drink and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been. Okay, so all these things are going to come upon the Edomites. All the things they did to us, we're going to do them. And that's, the same with the other nations. Okay, but the Edomites, after 1,000 years of slavery, they're going to be extinguished. Right? I'll read on. But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame. All right, so the southern and northern kingdom. All right. And the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for Yahweh hath spoken it. Okay. Now we can actually get, pretty sure it mentions it in Revelations 20 and 4. And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushai and for the word of Yahweh. And these are the martyrs, all right? Some of the elect will die, all right? Some of them. Some will be thrown in prison, and not all of them that are thrown in prison may die. You could escape. But some of the elect will die, all right, as martyrs. It's talking about them right now. And which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands, and they lived and reigned with Hamashiach 1,000 years. That's the 1,000 years that the heathens are going to be in subjection, in slavery. Okay? So, there's a lot of scriptures on the slavery, but I'm going to get, this one more major hitter. I mean, I made videos on it before. You can go to those if you want. Or you can even look it up, or there's a website. I think the Real Hebrew Israelites talks about it. But this is Psalms chapter 149, verse 5. Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the high praise of Yahweh be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron, to execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints. Praise ye Yahweh. And that's heavy too. To execute upon them the judgment written. Let me go to. But yeah, if you want more precepts regarding the Gentiles being Israelites and slavery and stuff like that, you can go to other videos on my page, or you can look up other brothers' videos, or even go on the Real Hebrew Israelites page. Okay, website. There's a lot of information on there. Second Ezra chapter 15, verse 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. It just said, the execute the judgment written, right? And it says, cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. So these things will come to pass. Okay, fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee, which means people that, don't believe. They don't believe what you're saying. All right, it doesn't matter if they believe or not. All right, the truth remains truth. The truth remains true, okay? For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness, okay? Actually, I can get this too. This is Romans 3:3. For what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of Yahweh without effect? So is them not believing, is that going to cause America to not be destroyed? Is that going to cause them to not go into slavery? No. Right? Yahweh forbid. Yea, let Yahweh be true, but every man a liar, as it is written, that thou mightest be justified in thy sayings and mightest overcome when thou art judged. Okay? So, now let's, close out with these. Go into Isaiah with the wine press. Isaiah chapter 63, start at verse 1. Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat? I have trodden in the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me, for I will tread them in mine anger and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and will stain all my raiment. For the day of vengeance is in mine heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. The redeemed are the Israelites, specifically the elect, all right, the elect, because the elect are going to be delivered. And I looked, and there was none to help, and I wondered that there was none to uphold. Therefore mine own arm brought salvation unto me, and my fury it upheld me. And I will tread down the people in mine anger, and make them drunk in my fury, and I will bring down their strength to the earth. All right, this was the point right here. I have trodden in the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me, for I will tread them in mine anger, and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain on my raiment. For the day of vengeance is in mine heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. All right, and that's what it was, Whoops, Salakia. I pressed on highlights again. Salakia. It's going to take a while to load again. I meant to press bookmarks. But that's what it's talking about. Right? It talked about the wine press in Revelations 19. Okay, because that's a prophecy. Yahweh Shai isn't coming back to give hugs and kisses, man. He's coming back to destroy people. All right, to slaughter people. Massacre, man. Which is why we actually relate him to the comic book character that they created called Thanos. All right, because he was bringing balance. Okay, he was bringing balance, and by doing that, he had to take out a lot of people. Yahweh Shai is gonna, Yahweh is going to use Yahweh Shai to wipe the wickedness off the planet. Okay, he's not satisfied, man. He's extremely angry. All right. So with that said, I want to give let me read this one more time. Revelation chapter 19, verse 15. And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he should smite the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron. Remember, that means when applied to kings with a rod of iron, indicates the severest, most rigorous rule. All right. And he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of Almighty Yahweh. Okay. So with that said, I want to give all praises to Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone, roll well. Peace and blessings, salutations to the hopeful elect of Israel. All right, keep pushing. I love you, sincere Akim Wak Wakim. All right, endure. All right, keep doing the work. Pray, fast, stay faithful. All right, we're almost out of here. Shalom.